Big. God, that's cool. So the back has plenty of clearance. Right, so we finally took the tires off the pallet and weighed them. And Tarachi did us a solid and picked the perfect weight for a 44-inch tire, which is obviously 69 pounds on the scale. 69 dead. Then they're all really close to 69. They're all within like a quarter of a pound of each other. One thing is they're so big, they kind of got smashed by the weight of each other, so that's going to make them really fun to mount. But don't worry, we have the technology, aka the explosives. 24 System 3 wheels. By the way, Max Rock hooked me up with these. He's on the Mud Puppy page. His prices are pretty hard to beat, and he gets stuff to me the fastest, so I always go with him. 28.5 pounds, so I'm not really good at math, but if you were to do that math, you'd find out that this set of tires and wheels is going to be just under 100 pounds, which sounds like a lot until you realize they're fucking 44s, which a few years ago was the biggest tire you could get on a truck. Mighty 44 is on the 24. Now we're going to weigh it as a unit. This is the biggest tire I've ever mounted by hand. It's the biggest tire I've ever owned, except for the tractor, of course, but pretty big tire. It's like nipple high. What do you guys think it's gonna weigh? 100 pounds? 98? I'm thinking like 98. All right, moment of truth. 44 Aztex on 24 System 3s. This is at 7 PSI if you want to account for the weight of the air. 98 pounds. Well, let me get it leaning right. There's a comparison of a lawnmower next to a 38 next to a 44. It's ridiculous. I gotta put the phone in zoom out mode to get the whole thing. Dude, that looks retarded. No weight of the vehicle on it. Tape measure, 43.5, maybe 43 and 5/8 if you're dead level with it at 7 PSI. So it's a little short, just like most of these. But saying something's a little short when it's almost 44 inches tall is kind of irrelevant. That's how it should look. You see there's a ball joint and nut and stuff. If you look at this side, there's no nut. Ball joint snapped off. Best to get it straight, and you just crank the vise down. It's not a super tight fit, but it's tight enough, especially because it's captured with the snap rings. And then you just go until you really feel it bottom out. I think it's got a ways to go. There it goes. It gets tighter in the center. There's a little more of a interference in the center, which is good. These tools are great though. Definitely beats trying to use a socket. And then just look at it and make sure it's centered on both sides, and that's it, it's installed. And then don't forget to go and add your snap ring into this side, but we'll go ahead and do both of them into the snap ring. So we are installing Super ATV forward arched control arms onto the Honda Talon X. And the reason for that is to clear the 44-inch tire that's peeking out right there. Some interesting things. One of my ball joints was broken, but it was fine because it was a press fit. And for whatever reason, these Super ATV ball joints press fit tighter than anything I've ever seen before. So even though the stud was snapped off, it was still, you know, controlling the wheel properly. So these arms are all on there. The hardest part was separating my lower ball joints, which were the Super ATV ones. That one broke, but because I had snapped the stud off, that was totally broken off. But getting those separated was really hard, a lot of hammering and stuff. You can see that I really tore up the control arm hitting it with the chisel and stuff, because it was a really tight fit. But that's kind of what you want, so no complaints there really. I ordered these control arms, the forward control arms, see how they come forward a lot. I ordered them with the Super ATV heavy duty, allegedly, ball joints pre-installed, because it's a pretty good deal. If you do that, it doesn't tell you on the website, but it does come with a set of new lower ball joints that you can install into your knuckles, so that's nice. I didn't know that, but yeah. Now, a big problem people have with these things is the bushings, right? There's a bushing in here, and when you replace it, you have three options. You can reuse the bushings out of your stock control arms, which means getting these snap rings out. Huge pain in the ass, don't do that. Super ATV sells two options. They sell a rubber insert and a spherical insert that's like factory. Get the spherical ones, don't reuse your stock ones. It's a nice kit, they come like this. and they're really easy to install. They give you these two tools. We'll show you how that works in a minute. They're super easy to install. As far as the alignment on the frame, they go right on there, very good. These are supposed to come adjusted. I'm sure I'll have to tweak it because, you know, I'm running portals, which are a little different alignment, and I'm not running stock rebound settings. So there's all that. There's a few threaded holes in them. You can kind of see for mounting your brake lines. It's not super intuitive to figure out how to mount the line. There's one down here too. So I'm gonna put the portal up there and then see how I wanna route it through there. It'll probably involve some zip ties and some other ghetto stuff like that. But pretty happy with the arms so far. It's just a lot of work once you got the portal on there because they're so heavy to deal with. And those ball joints were super tricky. Well guys, it's official. 38s are now considered a small tire on a side-by-side. It's ridiculous. A lot of clearance around the portal with 24. A lot of clearance around the Blake line, which is good. A little wider offset. I did that on purpose because it's so tall now. It's gonna need a little more stability. You can see it's actually pretty close to the same offset. This tire is a little fatter than the 38s, which is interesting, right? This has a little less air pressure, but this tire is really big. Is it gonna fit out of the garage now? Oh shit. Oh, well, this is the problem. It'll drop down a little bit like up that there.
Just barely.
Well, if I turn the wheel to the left, it gets higher.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so we got all four of the 44s mounted up. I want to show you something. So this is a tire that has 25 PSI in it. And it's got the weight of the machine on it, and it's 44.5 inches tall. So if you wanted to run a true 44, you just got to get these and put a little more air in them. Again, this is one that has 8 or 9 PSI in it, and on the machine it's about a 43. So they're a very stretchy tire. That's what I'm trying to illustrate there. Very soft sidewalls, which is great because the tire will flex and grab onto things. It'll also improve the ride quality. They're very easy to mount. I was able to get them to bead with the ratchet strap and just kind of pulling on a little bit. Didn't have to do too much explosions. One of them on the bottom of the pallet was really smushed. So we used a little bit of starting fluid, but they all beaded really well, very tight beads. I think I could run low PSI with not a whole lot of worries. So now I'm gonna bolt all 4 of them up and show you what that looks like. So there it is, still in the jack stand at the moment, but we're about to let it down. So one problem is that it has so much down travel and the tires are so big with that much air pressure in them that even the extension on my jack at its highest setting is not high enough. So you see how it's a little crooked, that's because it's just sitting on top of the pin, it's not through the hole. So that's a little sketchy. But look at that ground clearance at full down travel. It's ridiculous. So definitely need to walk away to get the whole thing in the frame. And also need to add some limiting straps on the back because that right there is just rude and unprofessional. But let's see how much ground clearance it has at full down travel. Let me find the tape measure. So definitely some kind of record for me. At max down travel, it has 37.5 inches of ground clearance, so over 3 feet of ground clearance. And that's stock axles, by the way, y'all, and stock, you know, pretty much stock shocks and everything. That's just incredible. What a machine she is.
Yeah, it's rubbing.
Dang.
It's not as bad.
Look at the other side.